Hey guys, welcome back to SamResolve, and today we're gonna take a look at the color page, how to edit your photos in DaVinci Resolve 20. Now, if you guys are familiar with Adobe's Lightroom, it kind of works the same way, but it just has some settings we need to set beforehand, and we will talk about it later. So first, let's import our images or photos that we want to edit our color grade. We're gonna go down here to the media page. Look for the file that contain our photos. For me, it's crucial. Let's find my photos, daily photos, digital archives. And we're just gonna select all and drag it down to our media pool. We can adjust the size of the media pool right here, so we can have more space to preview our photos, or we can just select our images in the file explorer, select all and drag and drop them into the media pool. Now if you notice that there are some photos that I got are actually raw, but Resolve cannot import raw images, so that's one downside of editing photos in Resolve. But other than that, everything else is good. Okay, remember the settings that we need to change. Right here at the bottom of our photo, there's this upside down exclamation mark icon. Now when you click on it, it will show the properties of your photo. And take note on the resolution of your photo. So for me, it's 5776 x 3248. Write this down somewhere, we're gonna use this number later. Okay, so right now let's go to the edit page. Now that we have our photos in our media pool, we can just right click our master bin and click create new timeline with select the bin, or if you have your image in a different bin, you can just right click them and also create a new timeline. And Resolve will have a pop-up asking you for your timeline settings. This setting is important because this is gonna affect the final output of your photos resolution. So we're gonna untick use project settings, and you will see there are a few pages pop up with the settings that we can tweak and mess with. For the timeline name, we can give it a name like a photo series. For example, these photos are about your trip to Japan, or you can name it Japan tour, or maybe Bali vacation with the boys. Name it something special to you, or a name that you can remember. For me, I'll just name it visiting wifey's BFF, and maybe also the date, which is 2024 June. After we have named our timeline, which is also our name for the photo series, we're gonna go to the format tab. We are gonna input the resolution of our photo, which is what we wrote down somewhere a while ago. Click at the drop down menu and choose custom. Then we're gonna change the resolution 5776 3248. But if you want your photos to be 60:9 on the final output, you can pick and choose a preset resolution for your timeline. Ultra HD or 8K usually is fine. If you're posting it on social media, it's gonna be very hard to tell the difference. So I recommend to just go with Ultra HD, which is 4K. But if you're editing for print, it's best for you to go with your photos resolution. Just right below the resolution, you will need to pick if your photos is going to be vertical portrait or horizontal normal 60:9. You can only pick one, and you won't allow to change this while editing. Yes, you can, but the whole timeline will change with it. So it's best for you to pick one if you know the majority of your photos is going to be horizontal landscape mode. And I will teach you how to make the timeline for portrait photos in the middle of your edits. After you're done changing with these settings, the others you can just leave it as default and hit create. Now that you have your timeline with all the photos, you can now pick and choose the photos that you want to keep or remove from editing. We can use the up and down arrow keys to jump to the next or previous photo. We can also zoom into the timeline, expand this a little bit so that you can kind of see like the thumbnail of every clip. And we can just use up and down arrow keys to navigate around. And if you find some photos that you don't like, you can just hit D to disable the clip. That way the photo will not show up at the color page, but it will still remain in your timeline. One setting is to make life easier. We can go to timeline menu, go to video, and we can enable selection follows playhead. And that way, so that the playhead will always select what is in the source viewer. And we can just hit D to disable them. So after you're done with selecting your photos, it's time to go in and reframe your selection if there's any. You can go to the photos that you want and we can adjust the values in the inspectors, like so. And after you're done, now we can move on to the color page right here down at the bottom. I just want to say congratulations guys, welcome to the color page, because this is where all the fun stuff begins. We can approach this in two ways. The first way is the traditional way, where you go in and does your color correction first, then you start color grading and then some filters. And just note that you are using the nodes properly when you're doing your color correction and color grading. I will have a video covering how nodes works in the color page, so make sure you stay tuned. Basically, just create a new serial node for everything that you are going to change. You can also follow my nodes in order, which is you're gonna right click, add node, add serial node, or you can use the shortcut Alt S. Gonna Alt S a couple times, and then the first one we're gonna name it temp and tint. This is going to be our temperature and tint. This is going to be our brightness, and then this is going to be our contrast, and that is basically our color correction nodes. And then right here we can have our color grading nodes. Let's call it grade 1, and then we can leave this empty for now. So for example, temperature and tint, right now I kind of think this is looking great already. I'm gonna pull out the brightness a little bit, maybe just the gamma and gain, just increase the brightness just a little bit. Contrast, just a little bit of contrast 1 point, maybe 1.2, and then we can change the pivot just a little bit to our likings. Okay, this looks pretty good to me. And then if you like the color correction, you can click here. Okay, we can Control C to copy the grades, and then we can paste it anywhere we like. For example, in this shot, I'm gonna paste it right here. Bam, it's here. One way to tell if your photos has been edited or color corrected is by looking at the number right here. See, looky here, it's 39, and it has a kind of a rainbow square around it. Same with this one, 36, a rainbow square around it. But the others are grayed out. That means it hasn't been color corrected or make changes to the photo. And the other way is that we can select a bunch of photos like this, a bunch of photos, let's say from 40 to 45. I can just click 40 and then hold down shift and click 45 to select everything in between. And then we can use our mouse tree or our scroll wheel click, and then we're gonna click right here to copy our data from our 39 like this. And you will have a pop-up say replace existing active grades, and say yes, replace. And that way we have everything color corrected. And another way to really speed up your grades, we can click here and hit Ctrl A to select everything. And with the same method, just use our mouse tree or our scroll wheel and click one of the footage or one of the photos that have our effects that we want. Middle click them, replace existing active grades, yes, and replace. And right now, everything in our timeline is color corrected. If you're shooting at a fixed settings on your camera, this can be helpful. But if you have auto settings, you might need to go into each one and change the brightness or the color temperature. And the second way is to take advantage of all the tools in Resolve's color page. And the second way is to take advantage of all the new tools in Resolve 20. We have the magic mask. That's the magic mask. We have the magic mask. We also have depth map in the effects. Search for depth map. Drop it right in. And this is the depth map and also the real light effect. Pretty cool, huh? But out of all these effects, there's one that I like the most, is the film look creator. Search for film look. We can just drag and drop the effect onto the node. And after that, you will see your photos change a little bit, and that's because the film look creator is taking its effect. If you like this effect, you can 1. Start from this effect and work your way down. Or 2, you can start from clean slate, come here to the preset, to the drop down menu and choose clean slate, and you will remove all the effects and you can start playing around with the settings. We can adjust our exposure right here, our contrast, highlights, fades and white balance, tint. They also have split tone. To enable it, just tick this box right here. We got vignette. Enable vignette. You can play around with the settings however you like. Now, if you're working on a log footage or a log image, we can go here to our color space overrides. So let's say you shot this on a Sony. We can find Sony, which is S-Log, Sony S Gamma 3 Cine with color space, input gamma, and the S-Log 3. And output color space is Rec 709, and our gamma is, we can choose gamma 2.4. So right now it looks kind of crazy because I actually shot it at Rec 709, not S-Log 3. This is just an example of showing you how to override your color space if you're shooting in log. And then after you have your log footage overwritten, you can also come back down here and play with the settings and to get the effects that you like. Now for me, I'm just gonna reset all these. After you're done with your photo edits, the next thing you're gonna do is come back to the source viewer right here. You're gonna right click and grab all stills, and we're gonna choose from the first frame. Click on it, and Resolve will start grabbing all stills from the first frame. So what does it mean by this is that when we go back to our edit page, every photo is counted as one footage. So if you realize every photo right here, we can actually play this back. This is actually a timeline with for a series of photos that created into a video. So for every first frame, so this is counted as the first frame, and this is also counted as the first frame. Is it simple enough? Alright, so that's how things work. And after it's done, we're gonna come to the gallery tab right here at the top corner, and you click on it and you will see all the stills that Resolve have grabbed. It's already right here. And from here, we can just right click and select all, or Ctrl A for the shortcut. And then we're gonna right click again and we're gonna hit export. Now, very quickly for the vertical portrait photos, first let's go back to the edit page. And for example, I have some photos here that are actually shot in portrait mode. For example, these are actually shot in portrait mode, and we can mark these portrait photos just by changing their tracks. For example, these photos are actually portrait. Then we're gonna come here to our media pool. We're gonna right click and create a new bin. Let's just call it portraits. We're gonna open our portrait bin, and we're gonna select our photos in a new track, and we're gonna drag and drop them into our portraits bin. All right. Okay, this is not. We can just remove them just by hitting like delete them. We can repeat the process. Just select Control A to select all, create new panel, we select the bins, and then untick the use project settings, and also this time we need to untick use selected mark in and out. I take this and go to format. We're gonna choose 4K, and right here we're gonna choose use vertical resolution. I'm gonna click this and hit create. And right now we have a new timeline just for our portrait photos. So now that we have our vertical resolution timeline, we can go back to our color page and then repeat the export process. Right click, export. I'm gonna pick a spot where do we want to export. So right now I just want to export it to my desktop. Let's create a new folder. Let's call it visiting wifey's BFF. I'm gonna export it here, and then right here at the file type, we're gonna change it to JPEG or PNG. So I'm just gonna choose JPEG for the sake of demonstration. Let's click export, and Resolve will now start to export the photos. After exporting your photos, go to the folder that you just exported to. For me, it's on my desktop right here, and you will find one extra file type, which is this .drx. This is just the metadata of your stills. It's not very important, and you can remove it very easily. Just click the sort by file type at top here, sort by file type, and then to click the first one, and then we're gonna hold down shift and click the last one to select everything in between, and we can just remove them. You don't really need these files, and it will not affect anything even if you remove them. And that's how you edit your photos in DaVinci Resolve. If you like this video, please leave a like, and there is more than enough that I can ask for. And if you guys like this video, make sure you check this video out where I talk about most of the AI features that Resolve released in the latest version 20. So have a good one guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.